Okay. Hi everyone. Good evening. My name is Alta, and I apologize that I did not realize that I had a cap on the number of callers to call in. So I'll make sure that I up that limit soon. So again, my name is Alta, and thank you so much for jumping on the call tonight. I was super inspired to put this call together after going on Nikki's level 5 trip last week. I'm one of the newer level 5s, and I was so fortunate to be surrounded by such huge inspirations. And honestly, the thought that crossed my mind during that whole entire trip was that I just wish that my team could hear these ladies speak and hear their journeys, because again, they were all so inspiring and to me, and I definitely wanted to pass that information on to everyone. I know we had a similar call yesterday, but in tonight's call, I wanted to focus more on what it took for all of these leaders inwardly to hit level 5, because even though all of the ladies, we're all from different, we all have different personalities, we have different backgrounds, etc. But the one thing that I heard in common as I was speaking to everyone, and what everyone had in common, is just that decision to go for it, right? So right now I do want to just take some time. I know we have such a variety of levels on this call. So I just want to briefly go over leveling up and milestones and what that means. And I'm just going to do a quick brief overview. So we all know that to become, and we go from consultant to executive consultant, right? That's the magic acronym. Executive consultant is what we all push for, and that's what we duplicate, how to become an executive consultant. So when you sell 600, that is your first promotion. So you go from consultant to executive consultant when you sell 600. And then when you find your first power partner, and you help that person sell 600, that's your next promotion, and that brings you to level 1. And then when you find 2 power partners and you help both of them sell 600, that brings you to level 2. And then when you, for level 3, that's 4 people that you help sell 600 in a calendar month. Level 4 is 6 people directly under you that you help sell 600. And then level 5 is 8 people directly under you that you help sell 600, and level 5 is the gateway to so much more perks and different levels from there. So with that said, I do kind of want to touch on how we get paid, right? So we get paid 5 generations deep, and whatever level you are, you get paid up down to that generation. So for example, if you are level 2, you get paid down to generation 2. If you're level 4, you get paid down to generation 4. So just know that it took me a couple of months to wrap my head around that. So if you still don't have your head wrapped around it, it's completely normal and understandable. So if you would like more explanation about that, just reach up to your sponsor or your closest level 5 so that he or she could help you go through that again. So one of the talking points that I asked the other leaders to share was the fears that they had either starting the journey to level or the journey to level 5, any fears that they had, right? So I'd just like to share my point on that. So in regards to my fear, I really have to be honest with all of you. After having been through some hardships in my life, right, without going into much detail about it, in my youth, and losing my parents at a very young age, and then becoming a single mom at a younger age, that mindset of what fear has been swayed to being in a consistent state of survival, right? So I didn't have time for fear. I was just constantly in autopilot and survival mode for most of my life. So for me, reaching level 5 was the only option. If I'm told a goal, I go straight for it without question and without fear. And it's a mindset that I just have. And, the bittersweet of going through some traumatic stuff is you just use that to drive you. And that's what I use to drive myself. So in fact, on my orientation call with Melissa, I remember one of the questions that I had as a newbie was, because I learned that our company gives Lexuses, so I might as well ask, you know, how do I earn my Lexus? On my orientation call, that's what I asked her. And she told me that I needed to hit level 5 and I needed 125,000 in my organization volume. So just to kind of go into that, right? So just remember, our organization volume means that that's the total of 5 generations combined, right? So when she told me I needed to hit level 5 and I needed 125,000 to get my Lexus, I quickly pulled out my calculator and I just thought, I was just throwing numbers out, right? And I just told myself, like, okay, if I could sell 3,000 and I need 125,000, I just divided those numbers, and that told me that I needed 41 people that can do the same. So that's kind of, when I get told what I need to hit, I figure out going backwards how to get there. Basically is how my brain kind of automatically works. So from day one, I knew that these doctors, what they were offering was huge. And when I started, I went into the world with extreme excitement. And I told anyone and everyone about this opportunity. I didn't know what the heck I was saying at all. I just knew that these were the doctors that created Proactive. And I just went out there with excitement, and they're allowing us to partner with them. And I always led with the business. So with this type of excitement, you know, excitement is super contagious. That came a huge following. So my journey in signing up consultants, my first month, because of that excitement, not knowing the heck what I was saying, but I had excitement again. I signed up 9 consultants my first month, and then in month 2, I signed 5 consultants, and then in month 3, I signed 4, and then in month 4, I signed 1, and then I hit level 5 in month 5. However, I do want to stress this. In both month 5 and 6, I went into managing team mode, and I slowed down, not for long, but I slowed down and I stopped prospecting, which slowed down the growth and the momentum of my business dramatically. And it slowed down that org volume. I kind of stayed stagnant with my org volume, my organization total, for a couple of months. But fortunately, you know, that momentum in my first 3-4 months carried me through month 5 and 6. So Melissa Pokes, being the awesome mentor and sponsor that she was to me, she made me aware of that I was doing that in month 6. So that I stopped prospecting and I stopped sending her calls. So month 6, which was June of this year, she put together this Arrive at 5 challenge, and I was part of that, and it forced me to do 30 reach outs a day. And I started sponsoring active consultants again. So, and then I started, you know, just gaining momentum back. You know, I just started, I was announcing every other week another consultant. So I just got back to that same excitement that I started with. So my top 3 action tips for everyone based on my experience would be always stay in action mode. Never stop prospecting and planting the seeds. The activities at level 5 is no different than a brand new consultant. I still do my daily income producing activities, and I still reach out. My goal is still to reach out to 15 to 20, if not more, reach outs per day. And I still consistently pass 2 to 3 calls per week. And then also don't get emotionally attached to the outcome, right? So for example, if you're reaching out to 3 to 5 people a day, you may have time to dwell on those responses or lack thereof. When you reach out to 30 people, you don't have time to go back and check until they respond. So make it a numbers game, right? And just detach from the emotions or the outcome of your activities, of your income generating activities. So, so my tip number 1 is just stay in action mode. and start in action mode from the very beginning. If you're just starting, get into action mode and don't overthink it, just go. And if you're relaunching, don't overthink it, just go. Get into action mode. So my second tip would be just keep it simple. So I literally had to retrain my brain because I went into that managing mode, right? So because we're humans and we tend to overcomplicate things, I tell everyone that starts this business, the hardest thing in this business is to keep it simple. So again, to pull myself out of that complicated managing mode, I started listening to Sarah Robbins, that 1-hour YouTube video that she has for new consultants on a weekly basis 2 months ago. So every Monday, I start my week off with listening to Sarah Robbins' new consultant video. And by me doing that, it engraves simplicity and it engraves duplication in my head. And then my third tip would be to just lead with the business, right? It's so much easier for us to say, hey, friend, are you interested in looking into this business opportunity? And if they say no, you fall back on the products, right? Well, and if they say no, you just say, well, if you don't mind, can you support me as a product user at least? And that's how I got most of my PCs and most of my product users, is because I asked them for the business, on the business aspect, and I fell back on the products. However, if you approach them with products only and they tell you no, it's so much harder to present the business opportunity and get a yes at that point. So for me, leading with the business, I really love, and doing my reach outs, I got some great responses back from that, what I call a soft approach or the referral approach. So just to kind of give you an example of that type of approach, some verbiage would sound like, hi, such and such, I hope you're doing well and that you're having an amazing summer. I'm reaching out to you because I'm trying to expand my business. And you were one of the first to pop into my mind as someone who has always been well connected. Right now is a really significant time for my business growth before we expand internationally. I know you're super busy and I so appreciate any help you can give me. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind having a quick chat on the phone with my business partner and I, so she can share with you a little bit of who we're looking for and hope she might know someone. Thank you so much. And again, I appreciate your time. So, so those are my, that's the tips that I wanted to share based on my experiences in regards to my fears and my top 3 action tips. Right now, I just want to pass the call back, or pass the call to someone I could call now, my friend Jessica Leog. I hope I'm saying that right, Jess. I had the pleasure of spending time with Jessica last week, and she is a level 5. She started the Rodan & Fields business and journey 2 years ago, and last month she jumped from level 3 to level 5 in 30 days. So she's super awesome, and she's also got that contagious energy. So I just wanted to pass the call over to you, Jess.
Oh, thank you so much, Alta. I wanted to thank everyone for dialing into the call tonight. It is impressive to get everyone to band together and, get on the phone with everyone's different type of schedule. So thank you so much for dialing in and listening to the call. Yes, I did get to meet Alta's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful energy this weekend. And I hope that soon enough I get to meet all of you at one of these level 5 leadership get-togethers. They're great. We really feed off off each other. And I honestly think this is a great business to be a part of because we all really uplift one another. So a little bit about me. I actually manage a private optical office in Sunnyvale. I do that by my trade, and I've been doing it for 15 years. Although I love my job, working the 9 to 5 didn't really fulfill my passion for traveling. My boyfriend and I are really big on, visiting different countries and, just experiencing different things, but we had a hard time doing it together. He is in network marketing by trade and has always been a strong advocate for it for me. So, he's always asked, like, can you join me? Can you join my team? I've just never really fell in love with the product that he has, been working with. And I've been, I slowly looked and couldn't really find anything until I did start to notice my friend Sherilyn's post about Rodan & Fields. I just kind of watched her at first, kind of see what she was doing. And then my really good friend, Melanie, joined the business and invited me to her first BBL. And after going and listening to this amazing business and all these wonderful women starting to join it, I jumped on board. I met with Nikki and with Melanie, and they answered a lot of my fears. First one definitely being, I am not a salesperson. I work in the medical field. I always have. And so the thought of selling skincare was really, really tough for me. And knowing that my boyfriend was in network marketing and listening to him, a lot of his stuff revolved around cold calling, calling, different people through referrals and, just walking up to random people and going, hey, what do you do? It's, was very hard thought for me to wrap around. But after listening to Nikki and, her letting me know that a lot of the stuff that we do is warm market referrals, I was like, you know what, let's give it a shot. And I took the leap of faith in August 2013. I did not have a fast start by far. So I had some personal losses in September 2013. So it took me a while to really want to wrap my head around the business. But once I did, I, definitely followed the steps that my upline had given me. Obviously, we give you guys all of that when you jump on board, all the first steps that you should take. And I ended up having the highest volume in our group for the month of December 2013. I slowly started to work the business, posting online, talking, to my family, to my friends, having them refer people to me. And I kept a steady about level 2 and level 3 for a good while. I have about 13 consultants underneath me now. But again, I've been in the business for 2 years, so definitely not a fast start like some of the other girls on this call have had. In the month of July, though, I really decided to buckle down, and that's going to be one of the biggest things that I really advocate for is your mindset, because it's really, really easy in this business when someone is not really your boss, right? You're your own boss. So you make your schedule, you decide, what you're going to do today. So it's really easy to go, oh, I'll just do that tomorrow, or I'll answer this text the next day, or I'll follow up maybe with this person next week instead of in 2 days. So, it's really hard to kind of fight that sensation to not work the business. So I'm going to say, definitely keep your mindset in it. My upline was a really, really, really good thing for me to have in the month of July. Anime and Sherilyn and Melanie really, really kept in great contact with me. So in July, I decided to become the leader that they were for me. I reached out to my downline. In July, I had 4 ECs that were definitely going to EC, and I needed to, to get 4 more. And one of the biggest things that pushed me was knowing that my upline, Melanie, would hit Premier 5 if I could just buckle down and work with my team. So I decided, you know what, let's really do this and let's become the leader that they need. I offered them an incentive. And just like I said, I asked them to be just as active in their mindset as I had started to be in July. I asked them to post every day, and I came up with a point system for posting. I let them know that if I could help them with a retail or a PC, they would also get some extra points. And at the end, it was like a good motivation tool for my team. It was, I started to really get them calling me and saying, hey, I've got this new PC, or I've got this new person, can I 3-way call you in? So motivating your team is going to be the next leadership thing that I really advocate for, because once I did that, once I got my team involved and reached out to them and offered them something that was, something they could strive for, they really, really started to show me the activity. And oh my gosh, at the, last day of July, I had the one last person, and she called me and she said, we did it, I got my last PC. And I mean, I was just in awe of my team that in 2 weeks, 4 people really got together, banded together, and really fought for what we needed. This business is really about teamwork. I wanted to do what I wanted to do for my upline, and they also wanted to do that for me. So you have to show them that every day, talk to them, make sure you're reaching out and not really, letting them off to the wayside and do things on their own. Show them that you're there for them. So, a couple of things that I also really want you guys to know is that you've got to believe in this business. You've got to believe that network marketing can work for you. I want to travel for the rest of my life. I want to be in Japan for a month. I want to be in Honduras and in Singapore and, all these different places. I've been, really blessed to be able to visit a lot of different countries in the past couple of years, but I really do want more, and this business can do that for me, and I believe in it. So you really have to believe in yourself, believe in the product, and believe in network marketing, because if you don't believe in those three things, it's going to be really tough for you to get through every single day and really build your team. And the last thing that really helped, during the month of July was a boot camp that my upline had put together. Your daily activity is really going to help in, like Alta said, the numbers game. In order to get a PC, you've got to reach out to 10 people. And if if from 10 people you get one person, that's great. Then reach out to 20 people or 30 people. It may seem hard, but once you get the ball rolling, it really isn't. Reaching out to one person is the same as reaching out to 10 people. So really, try to get an accountability partner, get someone to, really work the business with you, and make sure you guys bounce off of each other. Make sure you guys are doing what you really need to do in your daily activities. So that's really, all I have is, again, just believe in this business, believe in yourself, believe in the product, and make sure that you keep your mindset around doing those activities and trying not to let things fall off to the wayside. So now I'd like to transfer the call off to a very old and dear friend of mine. I've known Claire Cristobal for, oh my gosh, I want to say it's been about 18 years now. She joined RNS not too long ago, just 5 months ago, had a very quick start, and on top of being a mom of 2 and working, but now she's retired from her corporate job, and she's hit level 5 in 25 days, from level 3 to level 5. So everyone, please welcome Claire.
Oh, thanks, Jess. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Jess. Congratulations again on achieving level 5. I'm so proud of you and so excited to be sharing this spotlight with you. Hi, everyone. I'm Claire Cristobal. I'm the wife of the most supportive guy ever. Derek, we just celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary, hard to believe, just yesterday. We do have 2 beautiful children, ages 10 and 14. We live in the heart of Silicon Valley, and it was such a stretch to make a decent living and raise a family here without sacrifice. I am a young mom who decided from day one I wanted to be the one who raised our kids. Daycare wasn't an option, as my salary would barely cover it, and I wouldn't see my kids for half of their day. Time with my family was not a sacrifice I was willing to make, so that settled that. I raised our 2 kids without any outside help. Without question, I sacrificed a career and money. It wasn't until my son was in 3rd grade and my daughter in full-time preschool that I started working. With a background in graphic arts and a love for kids, I taught kindergarten through 8th grade art at the private school my children were attending, and I ultimately became the marketing and advancement director. It was the most rewarding job I had ever held. However, when a transition in that school took place, I opted to stay home to help them through transferring to new schools for another 2 years before working full-time again. I really wasn't looking for this business opportunity. It actually found me. An old friend of mine from high school, Nikki Lazo, who you all know as our fearless RFX leader, had contacted me during the busiest and roughest time in my professional career. I didn't give the business a second thought when she first approached me in about 2012. I continued to watch her grow over the years on Facebook and Instagram and thought, wow, this really is an amazing opportunity, yet I still wasn't willing to make a commitment and get involved. In February of this year, I was working a full-time job. It was fairly flexible. I had a short commute, The pay was good, but I felt like I was wasting away because the only person whose life I was making a difference in was my boss and his wallet. I wasn't looking for a second income, but I was, however, interested in getting my products at wholesale cost. So I called Nikki, asked her to come over, and I joined as consultant solely for the products for myself and my son, who at the time were faithful, proactive users. My 14-year-old had suffered severe acne breakouts, and it was just no match for proactive. And we were just at our wit's end before we decided to try a dermatologist. So with that, I signed on. I never expected anything of the business because I was quote unquote not a salesperson, and I didn't know anything about skincare. Nikki explained the day of my signing that I could earn some money and an iPad. It sounded fun. I mean, who doesn't like extra money or free stuff? So I went for it simply by telling people I knew that I had, that I had joined the business and wanted to share information with them. Within my first week, my team grew by 2 members. A few weeks passed, and I had 4 partners on my team in my first month. I eventually set out goals to duplicate that each month to grow my team and my customer base by sharing with everyone who would listen. In the school parking lot, at the dance studio, Facebook, Instagram, on the soccer field, literally anyone with anyone and anywhere. With each month that had passed, I had shared with people consistently. I cried happy tears consistently, promoted consistently, and my team had grown consistently, and so did the paychecks. So long story short, just after a few months, I think it was about 2.5 months, I was able to quit my full-time job because Rodian and Fields had replaced that income, and I was once again making a difference in people's lives. My main driving force in this business is my contribution to my household income. For years, I was quote unquote just a mom. I stayed home and raised a family. I didn't contribute to our family's finances for over 8 years. And when I did, it was only enough to cover the cost of my kids' extracurricular activities. I can confidently now say that I contribute to their futures by still being present. While my kids are older and the thoughts of going back to work when they don't need me around anymore during these teen years was always something that I had thought about, I'm finding more and more that they do need me around. Those conversations in the car to and from school are important, and I cherish those times. So now during the hours that they're in school, at their practices, when I'm sitting in the bleachers at track meets, in hotel ballrooms, during dance competitions, that's when I run my business. I don't miss a second with my kids, and to me, that's the best part. So initially, I didn't have any fears when I first started this business, simply because I went in so blindly, with zero expectations, and I just went for it. When people say don't overthink, really don't overthink things. The more I shared, the more we grew. It wasn't only until recently that I did have a bit of fear, and it was only just of the excitement dying. But every time I hear about someone's personal experience, whether it being with the products or the results of their businesses growing, the excitement just continues to grow larger and larger. So being that my team had grown so much based on the small goals that I had set for each month, I had planned on hitting level 5 regardless. It was almost similar to Alta, where it was just like, it would just come naturally. I just didn't think it would have happened this year, let alone within my first 5 months. But when Nikki was running for RFX, I just knew I couldn't let her down, and I knew in my heart my team wouldn't let us down. I went from being a level 3 at the beginning of July to a level 5 at on the 25th. So this happened because of my team doing the daily activities and setting short-term goals each month. They all had been close, if not at executive consultant by July. Those who weren't there just doubled and even tripled their activity with becoming an EC in mind. I have to thank our entire team of Skin Stars, especially my executive team, my front line, for getting us here. Amelia, Lori, Bev, Lynn, Janine, Pods, Becky, Anne, Maria, Nora, and Stephanie, you guys are amazing. And with that, I wanted to share my tips with you that got us here. And these are things that I'm constantly stressing to my team and they with theirs. My secret to my success is that there is no secret. Following the daily income producing activities and working as a team along with the tips I'm going to share are what got us to level 5. I'm going to share 4 things with you. Be prepared, be consistent, have the right attitude, and continue to strive. So the first thing is be prepared. Always forecast, stay organized, and be prepared. I always plan a week in advance who I'm going to reach out to, what I'm going to post about. Alliteration definitely helps keep things simple and creative for myself. Things like Macro E Monday, Throwback Thursday, and Freebie Fridays. It's a no-brainer, and I could just wake up each morning and just go with that. Being prepared means that I start the month strong by keeping track of my numbers and knowing where I stand at the beginning and end of each day. Who's going to be placing orders, who will be joining the team, and factoring those in prior to the first week of the month, even though month end can get crazy. Getting those things and having them lined up before the end of the month definitely sets myself up to achieve my goals before auto ship, and doing this also frees me up to be completely available to help my team and not waiting until the last minute during month end madness. My second tip is consistency. That really is the key. It's true what they say, the business doesn't work unless you do. Whether it's my productivity or with my attitude, consistency is the one thing I can't stress enough. It really is the key to success. I use the first hour of each day to do the same tasks. They may not always be in the same order, but I'm consistent in what I do daily. I post a before and after, check pulse, do my reach outs and follow up, get in contact with my team, and plan ahead. Doing these things daily is how I feel the most productive, and I have seen the fruits of those labors. So I can't go to bed without checking them all off my list. My third tip, attitude is everything. Definitely stay positive. It's easy to get discouraged when you hear nothing but no's, but it's not the end of the world. Detach your emotions from the negative responses, and most importantly, don't take it personally. Having an I can attitude and having a positive outlook on how close you are to your goal rather than how far away from it you are is definitely what will help you stay motivated. And the last thing is never settle. Don't stop once you reach that goal. Stay hungry. The beauty of this business is that the sky's the limit. Each month, go for the next goal and don't just maintain. So those are it. Those are my tips I wanted to share. I hope they help you and inspire you to continue to strive for 5. Last but not least on our call is our new Premier Level 5 leader, Monica Lennon, who, being in this business for 2 years, went from level 3 to Premier Level 5 in just 30 days past July. While I don't know her personally, I feel like I do, just having connected with her through social media. Seeing her business flourish and now reaching a new height has been amazing and so inspiring. I can't wait to meet her, hopefully at convention, and I can't wait for her to share her story and her tips with you. So with that, Monica, it's all you.
Mon, are you with us?
You need to unmute.
Let me message her. Mon, if you could hear me, use *6 to unmute. I'm going to call her really quick. Guys, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. I see her on the call. Hi, Mon. We're waiting for you. Unmuting. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Let me try to unmute you from my end. Let me look at your number. 910. I'm just trying to find your phone number so I can manually unmute you. You're still on the line, the other line, right? I am. 408-910. How come I'm not seeing your number here? Okay, click back to the other line. Hold on one second. Sorry guys, 1 second. We're just trying to get Monica connected back in. My apologies. No, click back over. So I called you on three-way, right? Okay, I mean, I called you on incoming call, so click back over to the conference call. Okay, so call back in. Okay, bye. Sorry. Okay, there she is. So Mon, just *6. Perfect.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I think it was the merging of the three-way call with a few people. Oh my goodness. I'm here now, guys. So thank you so much. I know I want to run this like quick because I know that like I've been lagging with the time that I wasn't on. But so hi everyone. I just wanted to really thank everyone that's on the call and on just this whole level 5 thing. Congratulations to everyone that is on this call. I really commend you guys for just like hopping on because I know you guys want to accelerate and really go far with this business. And so I'm just going to share a little bit about myself. For those who don't know me, I'm actually Monica, and I've been an accountant for 15 years in a few high-tech companies in the Silicon Valley. My husband and I were earning a 6-figure income each with our careers, and although I enjoyed my career as an accountant, after having started my own family and having my own children, I became really anxious to be home with my kids, especially during their childhood years. But leaving my job was a long shot from that option back then because we were living on a tight budget each day and every single month. So alongside that, being financially strapped, my husband and I were really becoming immune to the fact that we were okay with lacking a lot of quality time for each other and with our kids. So we were always completely drained by the end of our shifts, and it was a really scary thing back then, realizing it now that we were really okay with that lifestyle and that's how it was going to be for the next 30 to 40 years until thankfully 2 years ago I learned about Rodan and Fields from my best friend Sherry Lynn, because she knew I was looking for an exit strategy out of corporate. And so I jumped on board knowing that this was going to be huge. And I worked at 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there during my commute to and from work and when the kids were asleep. And although I was like the slowest turtle with the company back then, fast forward to March of this year, I was able to resign from my full-time job, thanks to Rodan Fields being a hero to my exit strategy. And this business has been bigger and better than I've ever imagined it to be. And the best part is that my success is not just isolated to me. So many people on our team are achieving success within 2 years and 1 year, even less than a year, even faster than I was able to. So it's like crazy the times ahead that the simple is super system once you just really follow the proven system. So fast forward to today, I'm just excited to have achieved a huge promotion within our company. I've jumped from level 3 executive consultant to premier level 5 just this past July. And I'm going to share with you some of the fears and struggles I really had to overcome within myself that really allowed me to finally move my business forward. So my fear was really, you know, fear is just a mindset, right? And my mindset was just really total lack of belief within myself to succeed with even a team of more than just 2 or 3 or 4. And that was what was really happening and hindering me from jumping to the next level of our company. You know, level 2 is just a number, level 3 is just a number, but when you know that you're not achieving something and just really being stagnant, you're just really, I mean, it's just a mindset thing. So I could tell you that, like, I was always level 2 for the past 2 years, and I'm living proof that that's what I felt I was really deserving of. And I know it's really easy to get tired or exhausted with being in the business for so long and doing all the income producing activities and getting nowhere when we're planting seeds. So with my story, like every time a new prospect really expressed interest in the business, I realized that my posture with sharing with them more about the business was really a rippling vibration of that reflection of myself, which really held me back. And that was just like my ego talking to myself that I was not good enough. I continuously made excuses why this business was only for the lucky few, and the people who are totally extroverted and deserving of it, like even my sister, for example, she was the one that was really enthusiastic all the time. And I made an excuse with myself that, oh my gosh, she reached level 5, there I go, epic fail, forget it. And I was like blaming like people like Sarah Robbins that she sounded too bubbly, so this business is just for bubbly people and all that stuff. But then what I realized from the stories that I was really researching from the blog, from the Redefined blog with our corporate company, I mean, a whole bunch of introverts and people, just normal people, were really succeeding with this business. So I got clear with myself one day earlier this year when I finally realized, after listening to a few mentors of mine who shared that really the reason I'm not finding success is that I hadn't made a clear decision to become the best version of myself that I was capable of. And that was to lead a team and to become successful by really sharing what I know with the people who really need something like this. So basically my story within my own head and my ego was behind all the results of staying paralyzed at the level I was at for so long. And let me tell you, like, I was leaving so much money on the table, tens of thousands of dollars by not promoting to level 5. And that was just a selfish thing. I realized that I could have been really utilizing that for my family, and not even only that, like using it for my tithing and everything. And just seeing that like I left it all on the table was kind of like shattering to me. But I'm sharing this with you because once I realized that the story behind my mind was just a belief I created, you know, a story I created from whatever baggage I chose to put in my mind. Once I realized I had every single fiber within myself to change that, I would be liberated from that ego. So I learned that our current beliefs and our stories we really continuously tell ourselves are just exactly that. They're just stories we're making up in our mind, and that they're ingrained in our subconscious from just our childhood experience to just growing up. But the awesome thing now is that we know that we are free to really liberate ourselves from that and create a new story to move ourselves forward to becoming the best version of ourselves, not just with RF, but just in life in general. And so what did I do? I just became a master of mastering becoming the best version of myself. And that was that led to being consistent and being putting in action, massive action within my business. And so I knew that all my no's would eventually get to either not nows or yeses. But I set a goal for myself, and I put it on my vision board that I would become Premier Level 5 by July 31st. And it's crazy looking at it because I actually stashed it before the move in El Dorado. And I actually stumbled upon it again, and I didn't even realize that it really happened. When, you know, it was crazy. Like, once I had that vibration, I knew I would become committed with just consistent action with a positive attitude this time around. I reached out to hundreds of people in the last 3 months and sponsored 8 new consultants from May through July, and taught 6 of my new consultants to pretty much earn their EC status. And becoming a coach, becoming a coach I always wanted to follow throughout my career. That helped me just really move forward with my mindset and my business. So today I'm Premier Level 5 by July 31st, thanks to my team. And so my top 3 tips that I wanted to share with you guys, whether you're seasoned or new in the business, is to, 1, just surrender to the system with a no excuses attitude. We're no one special, every single one of us on this call. There's a simple, proven system that we need to follow in order to succeed in this business. So surrender to the system and follow with consistent action. Your action determines your results. So don't compare your results to anyone else on Facebook or anyone who's promoting. It's like, what have you been putting in to get your results? So you have no one to blame but yourself. And after all, this is your business. But the great thing is that you're not in business by yourself. You have all the resources. If you don't know the simple system, reach out to someone who has achieved what you want to achieve, or refer to your back office. Number 2 is reset your excitement every single day with the amazing opportunity and timing of our company. We're truly the first, really, before we head international. I know after a while into this business, it seems that we are not as enthusiastic about the business. And so we really find a way every single day to trigger your mind every single morning to just get up and jump with enthusiasm about what you have today. We aren't even international yet, and that's just really crazy times ahead. And so number 3 is just really put your why in the forefront every single day. Your why should really make you cry. And if you don't know your why yet, reach out to your upline and or refer to your Getting Started website, because your why truly will get you into the proper, consistent daily action in spite of all the cumbersome reach outs and no's and frustrations and struggles while attaining your goals. And remember, Rodan and Fields is just a vehicle to get you to where you really ultimately want to be in life. And with that, that's pretty much it, Alta. So you can take it from here. Thanks, everyone.
Monica, you are amazing. Thank you so much. I love you so much. I love you all you ladies. I just, when just hearing your energy, Mon, I just have to say this about Monica. I started working in the business November of last year, and I met Monica in January because we were having this big old event here. So they came down, and the Monica that I met is not the Monica I know today. This is just a brand new Monica, and I'm loving it because I could, it's just the feeling that you get when I spoke to her, in the beginning, and then now, Mon, you're amazing. You're truly so inspiring for having transitioned in the way that you did, and all of us and everyone that spoke tonight. Thank you so much, because it truly, like I said, there was no way that I could relay this kind of information third party to my team. And I don't want to, of course I want everyone to go to these level 5 trips, but I don't want you to have to wait for a level 5 trip to hear this type of inspiration. And this is people on our team. These are people on our sidelines and our uplines and our downlines, right? So, and we're also caught up with upline and downline, but it's so powerful when we can just hear everyone's story. And I have chills right now and a lump in my throat because I just feel that we're all so blessed and with this vehicle and this journey, and to be able to share it with each other and truly sincerely care when we help everyone rise up. It's just this is a feeling that we will never get in a corporate environment ever, ever, ever. Sorry, I mean, like, they might want to try to think that they make people feel the way that this this vehicle feels for us right now, but it's not going to happen. So thank you, ladies. I so appreciate your time to just share your stories. I do want to just open up the call. If anyone, I encourage anyone, even if you're thinking of asking a question, I don't care how new or old you are in this business, it's a perfect time to just blurt out whatever you want to ask. To unmute yourself, I believe it's *6 that you press to unmute. So I'll go ahead and open up the call right now for any questions that you have for any one of our leaders that spoke. No questions? Or is people having trouble unmuting? Okay, someone just messaged me that they're having trouble unmuting. Let me unmute the calls. And if you're not asking a question, if you could just mute your phones from your end, please.
There. Hi, Alta. Can you hear me? It's Simone.
Hi, Simone.
Hi. First of all, thanks so much for putting this call together. All of your guys' stories are so inspirational, and I get so much out of listening to you guys. I wanted to tell Monica how proud I am of her and how much I love her. I was one of her accountability partners, and seeing her growth in herself and in the business has just been amazing. And I did have a question for you, Monica. Are you still there?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're so welcome. What specific tools did you use that helped you change your mindset? Did you start reading more books? Was there a specific motivational speaker that you started immersing yourself in? What really worked for you to help you?
One was Mel, my twin sister.
Mm-hmm.
And another was, just delving into personal development audiobooks. I have a few that I can recommend to you, or anyone that has really allowed me to put it on repeat so that it can actually start evolving into my subconscious and stuff, and really truly believing, like, from other stories from the mentors from the audiobooks, that they too were the same unsuccesses that I was, but were able to overcome. So I mean, I know I've listened to, like, Tony Robbins and his story and everything, but I have a few that I can actually put on the link on Facebook.
That would be great. Just the ones that really helped you and stood out to you. Really great. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Simone. Does anyone else have any questions? No? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and end the call now. Again, ladies, thank you so much for your time. I cannot wait to just repeat this phone call and replay it all the time. And I need to just pause it and stop it and play it, because I want to just write down everything that was said tonight. There were so many tips and great tips that you ladies shared. So thank you so much. Everyone, thank you for joining us tonight, and have an awesome rest of your evening, okay? Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.